It's one of the best.
The Marc Peard Podcast.
Yes, kia ora everybody. Welcome along to the Marc Peard Podcast, 26th of November. And hello to you watching on Facebook Live, YouTube and Twitch. Hello listening back on the podcast. It's the usual plea from us here in the studio. Feel free to get your friends to join in, have a watch, give us a like, drop us a comment, share the stream, and we appreciate you. Running the appreciation shuttles tonight is yours truly.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Go fitness.
Tonight on the show, we hear from the Tui-vasa Scheck brothers playing in the Celeb Slam. We talk to Mitre 10 Cup Finals Championship hosting Hawke's Bay's Kurt Baker and Premiership hosting Auckland Angus Tui-vasa. Plus, we milk the respected commentator Nigel Yeldon for all his knowledge so that we can suss out this weekend's multis for you. Don't rely on our word. We've proved that we're terrible. We should get someone who knows code better than us, and that is Nigel Yeldon. He features on the show this evening. But without further ado, let's get it. Yeah, I'll run that appreciation shuttle. I'll run that appreciation shuttle. Former NRL journeyman Blake Ayshford, you're all out of wisdom. Said that to me today.
No, you're not out of wisdom,
mate. You know what he wants to do? He wants to start the show off with a true or false story. So explain, Aysh. Explain.
Nice. Oh, so I just thought, change up. My wisdom's been shared among the many, and it's run dry. It's dry. So, the next couple of weeks, got plenty of stories from the career, from nights out.
Yes.
Some are false, some are true. So I'll just let you guess which is what. So I'm just going to start by saying,
Do you want us all to be guessing exactly what it is, whether you're true or false?
You can.
Then we find out. Do we find out at the end of the episode? I think it's what we do, don't we?
We can do that. I don't know. This is on the fly.
I like that.
This is on the fly.
The big reveal at the end.
Yeah, that's the bit. You tie them in.
Thank you, Baxter. Thank you, James Taitamu. I'll be running the appreciation shuttles. We love you. Go, Aysh. Hit us.
Well, I was just on a Friday night after training, and obviously used to go down to the pub with the boys, and had a massive Friday out in town. But like you usually do, you go again Saturday as a good man. And what you do usually is you play first grade, you go again on a Sunday.
Yeah, you back up.
But Sunday, all I remember was in George Street. A lot of people will remember being in George Street if you've been to Australia, Sydney.
That's a fabulous area.
It is. It's a great area. Many clubs along there I visited, and I blacked out. Now,
wait. You've got to allow us to do some analysis during your stories so we can break it down. So the fact that Aysh blacked out is completely possible.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
George Street's very
yeah. Okay, cool.
Music.
Sorry, continue.
So that's on the end of a 3-day bender before training on Monday.
Sure.
And I wake up on a Monday morning and I'm in hospital with a drip in my arm, freaked out, don't know how I've got here, can't remember where I've been. And then they tell me that they found me in the alleyway on George Street.
Is that the end of the story? Can we do some breakdown before we get into any further?
We can. That's the end. I woke up on a Monday morning, hospitalised, trying to tell me that I blacked out. They found me in an alleyway in George Street.
I'm 100% believing this because I know in your younger days you used to sink it. Absolutely.
Well, also too though, I mean, should you have actually had a cover on the drink that you had? Is this what we're talking about in George Street?
Well, I could have been spiked. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's one of that. It's a very sexually charged area of Sydney.
And anything could have happened. I blacked out. But, woke up on a Monday morning. I can't handle my liquor, I like to think. So I didn't think, but that's what happened.
Okay.
True or false story?
True or false story?
True or false story.
We're all going to, he's going to reveal it at the end of the show. Give us a true or false. What do you think? Do you think Aysh blacked out?
Ended up in hospital with a drip in my arm on a Monday morning before training.
Baxter, I saw you with the appreciation. I'll be running that appreciation shuttle back for you right now, though. No, not him. We've already
Here we go. I love it.
Be prepared. Wear a woggle.
Yeah,
Shit, I loved that shirt. It's good.
Yes.
So on this day in 1952, and I'm going to look at, do you know why I'm doing that? It was the first time a 3D movie was released. Woo! Is what they did. And
that's creepy.
Yeah, no, it came out on this day, and you had to wear the special Polaroid glasses, is what they did. But it was called Buona Devil. Woo! And it was a story. It was a movie about some two lions that would sneak into camps and then drag guys out of the tent to eat them. That's what they had. And the marketing thing was the miracle of the age, a lion in your lap, a lover in your arms. Because there has to be a love interest, of course.
Like that.
So I don't know. I'm imagining like if this is the Jaws coming and drag it by the ankle. That's what it was. But
What's the lover in your arms then?
I don't
That's the
know.
thing, yeah.
She would have. I don't know who she would have been. It was 2 man-eating lions. Anyway, it cost them $400,000 to make, which was heaps back then. It made 2.7 million. So that was the Infinity War of its day, man. That was incredible. So
What was your first 3D movie you ever went to?
It was the one. It had an arrow that shot in it, and I think perhaps it was one of the Jaws movies.
The arrow that shot in it?
Yeah, there was one, and it had like that arrow that came straight out. But because I've got bad eyes, that actually didn't work for me, so I just ended up getting a headache the entire way through it. But for me, it was more fun to take my glasses off and see, because you had the picture with the weird red and the greens on the either side. So I lacked. I can't see 3D when I try those 3D things. It's really annoying.
I'm so annoyed that I asked you that question.
Yeah.
It went to a place where I was like,
Yeah.
I was expecting just like, bang, this is my first one, an arrow. But now you've got me thinking, what is the Arrow movie? Mine was
I think it was Jaws.
I thought it was Robin Hood too. I thought it was Robin Hood because I definitely remember they did a 3D movie that came out, and they also did a remake, and they re-released Jurassic Park, one of the Jurassic Park movies.
That'd
That would have been good.
Yeah, that was great. That was my first experience with 3D, and it just blew my mind.
Yeah.
It just
Jaws
blew
3D.
my-
There we go.
It was
Thank
Jaws
you.
3D, the third
Sorry,
one.
thank you.
Christopher.
Yeah, thank you. There you go.
There you go. There was an arrow in that.
Yeah, and that was because that was a bit on the ad, and I was like, "Oh my god, I want to see this!" But of course, my eyes they don't work right, so I couldn't see it. So it was just like a big slap. I've never seen the spaceship in any, those 3D pictures.
Yeah.
And I'm so sure that I still think it's a big joke on me around the world.
No, those 3D pictures were all
they
the
real?
vogue when we were probably around the early 90s, and every
Yeah.
classroom had them, and I was like, man, kia ora Ross, I'll be running that appreciation shuttle for you. No, straight up, there was like this is for Chris, Reeve won't remember this, he's way too young. Michael Arding, maybe Utz, and
Yeah,
yes, we
Utz would.
definitely will talk about Maradona.
Oh, yeah, Maradona.
R.I.P. But there was this massive hit, and all of a sudden, all these 3D pictures came out, and they were just like a whole lot of splattered paint on the wall, right? And the schools all got them, and you had to look at them and look at one corner and then bring your eyes down, and all of a sudden this creature came out. Did you never ever get to see
No,
one?
because I can't see it, and people would say to me, "Just relax your eyes." And I'm trying to relax my eyes. I can't do that. And
You
they go-
relax your eyes!
And I was thinking, like, you guys have passed some notes ringing. Oh, check it out, a space shuttle.
No, mate, they're definitely right. They're definitely real. Nato, you missed last week's fight card. It
Yeah,
was
I
a
did.
beauty.
What was it?
What is your take on this? Last week's, you can guess it now. The three are the least effective family pet. The least effective family pet. It was a battle of pets that just really don't make for great pets, but everyone has them. Option 1 was the goldfish. Option 2 was the guinea pig. What do you think won on that?
The goldfish.
Mate, the goldfish won.
Hands down. Hands
They're
down.
useless.
The amount of guilty parents that have replaced a goldfish
Oh, I
like
know.
midday because the kids are going to school like,
And the only time they're interesting is when they're swimming around trailing a big date out their bum, and you're like going, how long is that going to last before it snaps off? That is the only interesting thing that they do.
blessings. Thank you, Lance. I'll be running that appreciation shuttle. You got them all counting up there, Blake?
Yeah, mate, I've got plenty. Yeah.
Just hidden behind your flame bear. All right, this week, full fight card, and it is absolutely compulsory for you all to answer. Make sure you put your comments down below. More likely to have success in the octagon. Ooh. Now, I want you to think of Brock Lesnar, how he came out of wrestling.
He was a NCAA Division I champion. He was a legit wrestler. Yeah.
So he had a background in it, but remember, he was big in the WWE, and then there was some crosses over and does well in the octagon. Heavyweight champion of the world. Who do you think would have had a better octagon career out of these two wrestlers? Okay. Option number 1, Hulk Hogan. Yeah. Peak Hulk Hogan.
Peak Hogan?
Yep. Or peak Macho Man Randy Savage. This week's fight card. Think about it. Think about it.
Wait though. Is this if they'd only done MMA? If they'd only done MMA.
So don't just think of them in their peak, their absolute
peak. If they go, I'm leaving the square
WWE
circle and I'm
wrestling,
going
yeah.
to
I'm
the
headed
octagon.
straight to the octagon.
Oh.
It's gotta be, oh yeah, the macho
Because the
man.
cream of the rises to the
He's crazy, man, the macho man.
You like that?
Why do we think Macho Man?
I don't know. I kind of feel like Hulk Hogan's sort of awkward. Yes. Like in his movement. Remember, his big move was the run, the laziest, worst finishing move of all time, right? And he was never really he wasn't spectacular. He didn't seem to be very supple. He didn't seem to be very agile or whatever. And I don't know. I just feel like
Yeah, I think Macho's got a bit of crazy about him that Hulk doesn't have, and Macho very more agile.
Did you read that comment
Macho
there from
because he's
Dave?
pooned Stephanie McMahon.
Hey, well, you know, that's always
I don't
easy.
know if that's part of the event, but it might have been back then. I'm not sure.
You know what, Macho Man seems like the kind of guy that you put a basketball in his hand at a celebrity slam and he'd do okay.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
Hogan would just be goofy.
Yeah, no,
Big
he'd be.
and goofy.
You'd need him for setting screens.
I am listening to a lot of wrestling podcasts though on the way up, so I'll be sure to hear if there's any mention of Stephanie getting pooned.
I love that was something that actually came up as one of the deciding factors. Deciding factors.
I just love that word.
Hey, let's quickly have a word about Maradona passing. That was huge news this morning. And I was talking to Ayshford about it. We were sitting down on the couch earlier this afternoon, and I was like, you know, my only memories of Maradona, because I've never been a massive football person, is there's always those replays of the hand of God, where he, you know, got his hand in the way.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. Yes, yeah.
And then the other thing was he was always, after that, the only other time I ever saw him in the headlines was he was living his best life. He was on cocaine, he was on every drug under the sun, and he was living his best life.
And for kids my age, like that was before my time with soccer.
Yeah.
So all I got to see was party time Maradona.
Yeah,
so
that
we're
guy.
like, how when we hit party time, we're like, how good's this guy?
So he was like, because, you know, George Best is the older version of that, was the greatest at his game, who was also the greatest at partying, and the partying took him in the end. And so I was at work this morning, and Diego Maradona, the news broke during the end, so we read it out on air. And then I come out on air, and it must have been about 10 or 15 minutes before 6 o'clock. So I come out, and out at RNZ, they have all the screens with all the different shows on, right? And they're all British. So, of course, the British, the flawed genius who will be remembered mainly for the hand of God. So, whatever, you guys, it's like, how salty are they? Even when he's
So
dead,
salty.
let's try and boot him for it. In that game, have a look at the other goal in that game. Surely you would have seen it. He dribbles through their entire side and scores. Like, that's the greatest World Cup goal of the time. And it was really weird because it was kind of like your Ronaldo, Messi, even though they weren't the same age. Like, Pele was always the greatest, and then Maradona came along, and I think it was the bit where Pele kind of thought of himself as a bit more of a statesman, whereas like Maradona was, hey, fuck you, I'm more talented, and shoving this up my nose and what have you. So I loved him too when he was in the crowd, like at the Rugby World Cup. Remember, he was a huge Pumas fan?
Yeah.
And he'd always be like in the box, and you'd see like, you know, someone kicking a penalty, and everyone's like, and then they cut to the box, and Maradona's like, yeah. Now, he may have had help.
Yeah.
He may have had help.
Yeah.
Just saying that as well.
That
So-
enthusiasm came from more than just
it
innocence,
did, yeah. And he gave the greatest interview answer of all time.
That's right.
When he was coaching a Mexican team, and they asked him, like, you know, the whole classic, oh, so, you know, what do you think of the standard of the Mexican league? And have a Google of this when you have, and he just goes,
And he goes forever. Like, it goes forever.
and they end up just cutting him off because he doesn't. It's like,
So so then we've seen like a Pele movie. There's a Pele movie out.
Yeah.
Do we think Maradona's
oh, you
going
would
to get a
have
blockbuster
to.
with
You'd
him?
have to, because
it'd be big time.
His story in his life is
It'd be the
amazing.
best watch.
Yeah, he's amazing. Like he is beloved, like in the way that Messi is not by Argentinians, because he left. Messi left to go to Spain early, so they kind of go, you're good, but you're really Spanish.
Yeah.
Whereas like he was their dude, and he played there for a long time. And then he went off to Napoli, and then of course he went to Barcelona and other clubs. But Maradona was just personality. And I remember as a little kid when there was a World Cup on, I think Argentina won, and that was the first time I'd sort of saw him. And he just had a cool name. You go Maradona,
Maradona,
and then he was the best. So
I'd love to hear from everyone to see who they think would play Maradona as well.
Yeah. There's plenty of messages coming through also from all of you guys with Randy Savage is obviously the popular pick to begin with. Maradona the GOAT. Saw Maradona at Boca Juniors game in 2001. He was high as a kite, but the fans treated him like he was the Pope.
there's one game, there's footage of it. Have a look where someone brings him out and he has a rail during a game. Like,
Really?
you're like, what? And they cut away. Yeah, like that's. But he was like, it doesn't matter. I'm me, and everyone went, yeah,
Just a cheeky bump.
You,
just
you, though.
just a
Yeah.
cheeky bump between goals.
Yeah, just a bit of that.
Doing his thing. Oh man, rest in peace. One of the
Maradona on the booger sugar was a lad.
He was, yeah, he was. I think that's the cool thing about him, right? He was.
You'd watch the movie though, right?
Yeah.
It'd be the most
you'd
interesting
so watch
movie to
that
go and
movie.
watch.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, let's get into it. Tonight, Aish, you can actually kick us off because tonight we're starting off with the Tui-vasa Scheck brothers who are playing at the Celeb Slam right now, actually, and Aish and I were watching it on his phone. Aish, I'll let you paint the picture of how this went down.
So obviously I got hold of the boys and they were reluctant, but they had a little quick chat.
Yeah.
And let's say they talked up their game, and from what I've seen so far, It hasn't reflected out in the court, but
Right.
here they are.
Okay.
Marc Peard podcast.
We have two of the all-stars. Like, do we call you all-stars?
Like a half star.
A half-star. Now, you know, like, so this is big because we've got the Gasol brothers, we've got the Morris brothers, we've got the Curry brothers, now the Tui-vasa Scheck brothers. Who's Steph? Who's Seth?
That's Seth over there with the hoodie on. Bro, Seth's got mean threes as well, so I'll take that.
It feels like sort of Roger, you are Steph, drafted number 1, but then missed 2 free throws with all the cameras on. Is there pressure?
We're waiting for the game. We're waiting for a big game day. That's the whole trick. Hey, turn up with the counts. Hey, Nico. See, even Nico's like, get me out of this guy's arms. This dude shoulder charging at everyone's back.
Bro, was it right? I seen you run over a chair the other day, like pretty intimidating.
Bro, they need to get out of my way.
Hey, does this remind you of the childhood though? Like you feel a bit disrespected, Jay? You know, like Rog, the favorite child, the firstborn, out of used to, and you weren't even, you know, number 1 pick. You were last pick. You feel like you got a point.
Just like my parents, they're saving the best for last, so you know they had to, because they had to get his name out of the way, so that all the media was ready. They're like, oh, there's actually people involved, and then they had to just drop the hammer.
Nico was just yawning.
And the hammer is here.
You always see a thing with the league. That's right. Kobe.
You both love the NBA.
Yep.
What NBA player do you see yourself as? So for me, I'm sort of like a hustle dog. Like I'm Marcus Smart. I'm in your face. I'm taking those fouls.
Well, I think you already started with Steph Curry, so
I like how
every
you
time
stay humble. I like how you stay humble when you Steph Curry.
Everyone just name yourself after one of the best players.
it's the dream. I'm gonna be doing all of these stuff.
I'll be doing all of it too, but I'll be celebrating my teammates who get in. You know, most people say I play like LeBron James, but I feel like in the key, you know, under the post, man, that's me. So I'm going to go Dennis Rodman, go old school, elbows in everywhere. That's me, G, straight under the hoop, then rebounds. Not about points, you know, I'm a team player here. But it's annoying when they just compare me to LeBron James.
You look at the score. You can't get past this. No shot. Bang. Did you get that?
Take it back to the childhood just for a sec. You know, Jade, like we talk about being disrespected and things like that. Did you always have to wear Roger's hand-me-downs? You always collect them.
Yeah, but I can't fit anymore because he's too skinny now. So I have to try and find my own stuff.
Any bigger shirts?
And who was the favorite child?
I don't think any of us count now because it's probably the one that he's holding.
Other the grandkids come into play.
Out of the grandkids are here, I've seen my parents are completely different. Hey, you didn't talk to me like that when I was young.
All right, man, thanks for joining me. All money goes to Starship Foundation. Can't wait to see it. Hopefully a war of words. Bit of Steph Curry, Dennis Rodman, LeBron James. Thanks, boys. Good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Things we're seeing the move. It really ain't dropped out cool.
Game happening right now.
That's why you do the interviews.
How are they
That's what
going?
they do. From memory, it was pretty close. The Breakers players were going a bit hard for
they
our
were.
liking.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, to be fair though, they've been like caged animals. They're just waiting to get out there and ball. So you can imagine these celebrities out there. Seymour.
David Seymour.
You know those basketball, travel, double dribble.
Was Chloe? Actually, our mate Chloe's playing it, isn't she?
Yes.
Chloe Swarbrick. Yeah.
She wasn't afraid to put up some Joes.
No.
Yeah.
I want to see her doing like one of her Muay Thai moves. Someone goes up for a rebound. She just like.
Remember
kicks their
too though
legs
that
out
she
from
did
under
say that ball sports weren't her.
No.
her cup of
Did she
tea.
say that? Because
Yeah.
that would make sense watching it now.
Yeah.
A lot of
them.
air balls. Yeah.
No, she's more of a fists and knees and elbows.
Starship though, man. Starship.
Yeah.
Starship.
For
Well,
Starship.
from that, Roger was on fire at the start. They hooked him.
Yeah.
Johnny come on, and he was not LeBron, and he was definitely not Dennis Rodman. So the pressure got to him, I think.
Yeah, you
Well,
can
he's
tell,
also,
you can tell they're ballers. Like they're definitely
Yeah.
street ball. Like they go out and they play pickup games all the time. But I feel like Johnny, the bright lights have got to him.
Yeah. Like no one's thinking that's Dennis Rodman. They're going, well, that's also a mammal, so that's good.
Yeah.
It's near, isn't it?
Let's
Guy
move
Williams
into.
was quite keen. He was
Oh
shooting
mate,
some threes this morning.
he's not bad. He's got he played well. I mean,
And he's got the
tall.
mic on too, so there's a lot of chat going
Right,
on.
so he's quite
He's
keen.
sort of team leader.
Okay, right.
Just a tall unit. Yeah, tall unit. Cricket is on.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, if you can see Eden Park, move your shoulder slightly there. That white thing, that's the cover on the pitch. There's someone walking out on the pitch. There's some security out there. No, not on the pitch, on the outer field.
Oh, yes, it's security. He's just making sure that no one moves the boundary.
Really? Why would security be there now? Can you see in the far distance? There's a little.
I don't know, mate. He's having a look there.
You can't see it on
Maybe he's just having a look to think, if I have to catch a streaker, I just want to see that
Best
the ground. I've got to see where I'm going to herd them into. I don't want to slip too much. Yeah, Jenny. Someone said here that Jenny May and Maya Wilson. Well, you'd hope so. Netballers, you know,
totally.
You'd hope with that.
So yeah, the Black Caps. They. You don't say kick off. What would you say? Bowl off their season.
Yeah.
Start off their season on Friday night against the West Indies. That game starts at 7 p.m. here at Eden Park, and that's the first of 3 T20 games in the series, and then of course they have 2 Test matches. I took Blake along this afternoon to the Black Caps presser, just for a little tip, a little taste.
In comparison to every day where you have the time in the world.
Yeah, luckily with the short format, everything happens.
That's it. That's what happened.
That's what you had.
Aish, what were your thoughts? I mean, that was your first press conference. Did you feel like it was fizzing? That was Luke Ronke.
That was Luke Ronke, who's got a lot of personality.
I was about to say, he looks like a good time, Luke.
He is a good time. Yeah, we like him.
I got that, but like it was, you could tell I was excited. Yeah.
Like
Devin Conway was the other dude.
Devin Conway. All right.
Yeah. Well, Mark walked in and everyone's opening the door. Mark kicked the door open and was like, "I'm here." And everyone was like, "Oh, this guy again." Oh, God. They were all sitting on separate seats, and Mark's like, "Aish, down here," like real loud, and it was really quiet in there. And you could just tell everyone did not want him there.
Right.
But I was more distracted by Guy Havelt's leg contortioning.
Yeah,
Where he
sits
had his
awkwardly.
legs over. And
Is he a side saddler?
Nah, but he had his right leg over his left, but his left foot was going to the right side, and his right foot was also coming back. So it was very weird. It was very weird, and that was what I got out of the press conference, because the rest of it, it's not my cup of tea.
Are they
Let's just say that.
Are they looking forward to playing?
Yeah, they are. They always start off with that. But
is it always a tough game when you play the West Indies?
Always a tough game.
Always a tough game.
Yeah. The actual buzz was, of course, Luke Ronke, former South African, and Conway, who's been
Conway's South
African.
Yeah, proper. Yeah, but Lukey has that connection with South Africa. He was over there playing. And,
he played over there, right? He's Australian from Dannyburg. Yeah,
the Australian from Dannyburg that's played over in South Africa, the former kind of everything guy, and had played him over there and given Conway his jersey back in the day when he had played over there. When they were playing
nice.
the Mumbai Indians against his college team.
Yeah.
It was crazy. The story was crazy how and then several years later, he's his batting coach and he's looking to make it into the Black Caps. But it's always funny, these pressers, and I can't stress to you enough just how dry balls they are. And I wanted to take Aish along just saying, and Nate, you and I have been to thousands of these things. And all the journalists sit there.
Yes.
And there is no noise. And I hate it, because I feel like everyone's sitting there with a loaded gun just going, "I've got the best question."
Yeah, they do, but they kind of don't want anyone else to hear their best questions.
They don't want anyone else to hear it. So I do my absolute damnedest to just to shake it up, just to rock it up.
I walk in and I'm sitting up the back, so they've obviously got the seats out, as you've seen, and where he had me in the video, I was not there. I was up the back, like didn't want to be seen.
Yeah.
Aish, down here, quiet. So I'm walking down the aisle where all the seats are, guys. Former Warriors player Blake Ayshford's here. And I'm like, mate,
it was so good. Aish goes bright red. Everyone's like, and then it's just that journalist snigger. Like,
well, that's a bit like when we went when we were in Japan last year at the World Cup, right? So we go to an All Blacks one, and Peard and I walk in, and so we arrive late in the tournament, and everyone else has been there for ages, right? So we walk in, and there's Joe, who organises it always, like, "Hey boys," so we did the old bro shake and a bit of a hongy.
Joe's a Māori.
And that was greeted by, you shouldn't be fraternising with him. Like, why not? It's a dude that got us in. Well,
totally.
Yeah.
It's a crazy scene, and then I spent most of the time just trying to annoy Blake.
Yeah, he kept trying to talk to me, and I don't like talking when other people talk. I'm pretty, I've got manners, where obviously Mark doesn't. But it was funny because they did mention 3 or 4 times as the journalist tried to persist to get the 11 named for tomorrow. They said, no, we haven't named the 11 yet. Conway, are you in the team? Well, we haven't been named yet. And then Ronke said, well, he warrants a selection, but we're not naming the team yet.
Did you? Look, what about though the weird experience of formerly being someone who's up on that desk doing that, and all those people looking at you, and now you're down at that one? Like, was that a?
How did that go for you,
weird-
Aish?
Oh,
Go, say it. Say what you said to me.
What did I say?
You said you'd never been up the front.
No, I did say that. He goes, does it bring me? I go, I've never had a presser. I've never been that good to get a presser.
So is that what they were doing after the game?
Yeah, that's what the other guys had to
lining
do.
up for a
And I
Fritz
bet you
as
there
well.
was no journos that came in shorts, a t-shirt, and thongs.
Yeah, that was Aish rolled up. But no, it was good to see the Black Cap boys are going to get underway. And gee, she looks good out there.
That's good out
She
there.
looks wonderful
The
out there.
weather's been inclement around Auckland, but there'll be no rain at Eden Park tomorrow.
It
I
will
guarantee
definitely won't rain.
I guarantee it.
Plenty of
will.
sixes too, looking at that oval.
You know where the sunshine will all be, boys? The sunshine will all be on Friday night at McLean Park in Napier, 7:05 p.m.
Yeah, mate.
It'll be the 2020 Mitre 10 Cup Championship final between Nate's Magpies and the mighty Northland Taniwha. And I had a quick chat with the legend himself, Kurt Baker, about the match and, of course, his legendary celebrations.
The Marc Peard Podcast.
All right, Kurt Baker, the great Kurt Baker, joins me to talk a little footy, a little code. What a season it's been. You boys must be absolutely chuffed, especially after last weekend's big crowd and big win.
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been awesome to see what our performances have done for a community or a region. They've had a few sort of tough things through the year, so it's been wicked. It's been it's been awesome to be a part of a team that's playing some good footy.
This season, how's it been for you, body wise? How you feeling? Is it do you feel your age, or do you feeling like you're feeling sprightly and ready to go another round?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, mate. Obviously COVID hit halfway through our Sevens World Series, so that sort of got shut down, and I got an opportunity to play some 15s, which I hadn't done for a few years, and I jumped at it, and I've really enjoyed it. You get the mix of younger and older guys. It's a different game to Sevens, obviously, but I think they both complement each other pretty well. So I've loved every minute of it. Some awesome guys. And I suppose when you're winning it, it does make it a little bit easier. But we won everything. We've had some challenges on the way, and we definitely haven't had a perfect season.
No. So what's the future for you when it comes to the Sevens? Are you back in it when it all gets up and rolling again? Hopefully 2021.
Yeah, we've got the Redboard Night is the following weekend, so not this weekend, the following in the Mount. So
yes,
straight back into that, which will be it's exciting concept, and I know that from a player's perspective, we're really excited to obviously play some sevens, but some quality sevens. I think there's a bit of young talent going to be involved in it, which will be awesome. And it's men's and women's, so straight into that. And then I know there's some stuff in the pipeline for next year. At the moment, Hong Kong's still going ahead. The Olympics are still going ahead, so we've got plenty to work towards from a sevens perspective. I feel like we've just got a lot of untapped energy at the moment because we obviously got shut down halfway through our season. So the boys that didn't play Mitre 10 are itching to get into it.
Mate, they're like caged dogs right now. They've just spent the last 6 weeks being stabbed with sticks and going, ready to roll.
Pre-season of their life.
Yeah, 100%. No one likes pre-season either. Yeah. What's the chat been this week when it comes to taking on Northland in a game that, I know you probably don't look at it, but the TAB have you guys as heavy favourites. I think it's 16.5 points head start. So that's where people are thinking. So what's in the chat and keeping you guys grounded this week?
I don't think we need any chat to keep us grounded. I think we've got a pretty grounded bunch. We realise Northland have rolled two pretty good teams in the last 2 weeks. Otago were a good side, and Waikato obviously premiership semi-finalists. So maybe from the outside looking in, people think that it's it could be a dead rubber, but we definitely don't as players. They came down and challenged for the Shield a few weeks ago, and they definitely pushed us. So we've got lots to work on, and I suppose from us, our biggest focus is worrying about us. They could bring whatever down. As long as we, go out and do our job, hopefully we can come away with the result. But, you can get caught up in trying to change things in a week like this. But I think our biggest focus has been on ourselves and coming better as a team.
Just quickly before you go, I know you can't think about this right now because you've got a game to get through, and it's one of the things that you are notorious for, and that is the great photo shoot at the end of winning a championship or holding up a shield or a cup of some sort. I just want to go through the thinking of this because I know on our podcast we've all sat there and just decided, like, how do you locate the person who's going to be on the shoulders? Is it a pre-agreement that goes on, or is it just like a random moment? Or how has it happened in the past so we know we can get into the change room and just think about it?
You got to pick wisely. You've always got to pick someone that you know is going to say yes. So,
what tends to be the type of people that say yes? Who are those types of people?
Vulnerable, real vulnerable people. Nah, the boys are pretty good. It's a bit of a laugh, and most boys are up for it. I don't know if, say, someone like Dicko would be that keen on it, but I'll push the cause and things like that. It wasn't at the Shield, so I think I had Ollie Sapsford in that instance. But yes, it's a bit of a laugh, and
it's great.
I haven't really thought of the safety aspect of it. I think it's just whoever's stupid enough to let me get nude on their shoulders. To be honest, I don't think there's too much method to the madness.
Harder to do? Is it the mounting or the dismount once the photo's
it's
been
more
taken?
the dismount because everyone sort of like forgets about it and just chucks you off, and there's probably usually beer everywhere. So,
is it shower first or is it's just
no? I got to go in fresh,
straight meat,
unshowered. I mean, it's all about the moment.
Oh, I love it, man. Well, here's hoping we get to see a viral photo of you guys holding up the winning championship, and you go on to have a great Ignite 7 series as well, man. So all the very best. We're all cheering for you and can't wait for Friday night's game.
Working, man. Thank you very much.
So when he said fresh, as in like, he didn't mean fresh, as in like he meant, no, I just go in there straight after the game, sweat it up, let's get it on.
You know what it's going to be? It's going to turn out to be. He's going to be out in clubs, and you know people get like their favourite player. And, can we have a photo?
Oh,
can you
God.
get your kid off?
There's
And
gonna
can
be
we
guys
have the
taking their
photo?
pants off. Can I do it?
Or can you get on my shoulders and take a photo with it? Yeah. It's going to turn out like that.
Yeah, you're right.
It
If
will.
you want to put your collar up, he's doing it.
I'm thinking too, out of all the laddie things that you can get away with in professional sports now, like this is one true treasure.
That's the last. It's the last one.
It's the last bastion.
He is.
Yeah. The thing is that he's managed to find a niche thing that we all find hilarious.
Yeah.
And if anyone gets offended, most people would look around and go, "Come on, he's a grown man. He's on the shoulders of another grown man."
Well, I think it's because the person in front isn't doing it. Like Ollie Sapsford in that shield photo is like. And I think as long as that's happening, it's all right. It's like, oh, look at you buggers. But if there's someone who's doesn't look that keen on it, that's when things get wrong. But like you said, who's keen for this? You'll do it.
He told me a great story where he had taken this photo at the World Series, the one when they won the World Series.
Yeah, they won it in San Francisco, I think. Yeah.
And he was waiting in the Koru Lounge to fly back, and the news popped up. The news on the news it popped up, and his photo. They'd used that photo, not any other photo. That photo itself of him on someone's shoulders with the title. And he said there was an old man who was watching right next to him, and all he could see was him chuckling. He was like, so he said from that moment, he's like, man, this just goes past all generations. Like everyone can appreciate it.
Did Maradona do that? No.
Let's watch the Kurt Baker.
The Kurt Baker movie would be a good one.
Hawke's Bay?
Have to, surely.
Easy.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I had a quick word with Nigel Yelden. You can actually check out the videos on YouTube of his picks and why. And the TAB has them as, when I last looked, was a 16.5-point head start favourites.
Wow.
So they really think this is going to be a blowout. Nigel said in no uncertain terms that it'll be a tight, close game pretty much most of the way through. Yeah. And then he expects Hawke's Bay to pull away. He said that their record at home this season is unbeaten. They got close. I think Canterbury got close, but they pulled away. And they're winning by an average of, I think, almost 20 points at home. That's how much of a distance they put between the other teams. They do a weird
thing where they bring their big ball runners off the bench, like Isaac Walker-Leawere comes off, who's the size of a tree.
Let him back to Poverty Bay, thanks.
Like heading up, Gizzy. He's from East Coast, actually, isn't he? I think his dad was.
We'll
Kelly.
take him. We'll take it. That's
right. With him as well,
years.
and Gareth Evans and that too. So they've got I think it's the biggies at the end they've managed to wear people out. But they've been really consistent with who they've got. But man, Falau Fakatava.
He's my favourite.
Far out.
I love him, eh?
Man, he's good.
Nigel also said if you're going to take an anytime try scorer out of those teams,
Ash.
He said Ash Dixon, you just won't get any value for it.
All right.
He said number 8,
Devon
Flanders.
Yeah.
Booker.
Yeah.
Devon Flanders, and then maybe the number 9.
Falau.
Yeah.
He's been carving, so I can't see them get beat, but I've said that about many teams in the past 3 weeks, and they've all been beat. So, I hope it doesn't happen to the Bay, mate.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to them. Friday night, that game is on just as the cricket starts. Then you can flick over and watch the rugby. Unless you're watching, you could actually watch the rugby here at the cricket on the triple new screens. That you
there you go.
That's a goodie.
Yep.
I see from Stephen Harris. Stephen, we see you, son.
Oh, he's commentating. Yeah, you would. I know you would. No, Stephen.
Listen, a Taniwha upset.
Listen, Tipene, I bloody drove up from Auckland a few times for the promotion relegation game, and I would drive up there and I'd watch Hawke's Bay get beaten by Warren Johnson and then have to drive back.
Oh, such a drive.
So stuff it. I hope we win, and I hope we make Rush Monroe's ice cream out of Northland Tears. There, said it.
You said it. Saturday night is the 2020 Mitre 10 Cup Premiership final between hosts Auckland here at Eden Park.
Yeah.
It's going to look lovely. They're going to change out the pitch. I was trying to explain to Aish today how they have that big wheeled machine that comes and picks the pitch up and replaces it with some grass. That game, of course, 6:35. They moved it earlier so that everyone can get home and watch the All Blacks play later on in the evening.
Wow.
So it's against Auckland here hosting, defending champs Tasman Mako. And I spoke with the big fella and friend of the cast, Mr. Angus Taylor.
Marc Peard podcast.
All right, well, we have to start, Angus, with you telling or explaining to us where the black eye came from. Give us a good close-up.
Ooh. Yeah, actually, I'm not too sure. There's a bit of niggle out there from the Waikato boys, and I think next thing I must have got it from a tackle or a ruck or something, and there was like a little lump there, and sort of turned into a nice little shine. I've got a couple of dodgy looks from people, but who don't know how to play rugby think I must have had a scrap in town. So, part of the job, I suppose.
Mate, congratulations into the finals. I'm hoping it's going to be, I don't know if you can use the word sold out when it's free, but hopefully a massive crowd packs into Eden Park Road to rev the boys up and make it into a great final.
Yeah, I suppose, what do you call that? A pack out, would you?
Pack out, yeah. Free pack, I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose it's they did it a couple of years ago, and I think they got, was it maybe 20,000 or something. So, I mean, Saturday night, no school on a Sunday, free entry, I think gates open from 5 p.m. and you can just rock up. You don't need a ticket or anything. You literally just rock up to the gate and, you can spend that on some hot chips or something like that. So it would be awesome to get as many people as possible there. It's, as I suppose as a team, we always talk about trying to give back to the community and represent the city that we're from. So against a Tassie side who's been there for, been in the finals for quite a while, should be a hell of a game.
I also had a quick chat with Nigel Yeldon, the commentator, and I always ask for a friend, who might be wanting to place a little wager here, there and everywhere on first try scorer or anytime try scorers. Believe it or not, he reckons you. Like, didn't even say I was going to be talking to you, but he was like, it's going to be a close one. It's going to be tight up front. It's going to be, there's going to be heaps of pressure. I wouldn't be surprised if Gus jumped through and scored a try. And I was like, wowza. I'm usually a Royasi man, because the amount of tries he's been able to score.
Yeah, I don't even know if I can technically
comment on that
question.
No, you're not allowed
to. Because of all the TAB and that sort of stuff. But
no, don't. I don't want you to get in trouble.
Yeah,
I'll
get a letter in the mail. Oh well, hey, cheers, Nige. Yeah. I haven't scored this year, so
exactly.
It's been a dry one. Hopefully, no nude run at the end of the year.
Oh, is that the punishment?
Yeah, it's usually an undie run or a nude run, depending on how the team is inclined. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Plenty of motivation without getting yourself in trouble. Hey mate, just quickly before we go, and thank you for your time. The All Blacks lost to Argentina. Man, you sitting watching All Black games. I mean, what was your thoughts that went through their mind? Their physicality was, they were up. They were up in their faces and hard to tackle, and just seemed like everything was going Argentina's way.
Oh, I mean, whenever you play Argentina, I've had a couple of tests against them, and as well as the Jaguares, they're such a passionate side. You've seen that Pablo Matera talk about, I play for my country. But I suppose the niggle that they were bringing, and they were just tackling like demons, putting their bodies in dark places and no regard for their bodies, and the way they play, that's who they are. They're that you can just tell by their passion and the way they throw their bodies around. So, it was always going to be a tough test match, and I sort of feel sorry for the boys. They're copping a bit of a bit of heat at the moment, but I'm sure, I've seen in that bye week they've been putting in that hard work to get, some pride back in that jersey and go out and, finish on a high. Because I suppose just like our competition, that rugby championship is, it's anyone's game really. It's how these last couple of games will sort of play out. But I know the boys will be working bloody hard to sort of, get back on the right track and put one back up on RG. You sort of look at it as a fan, but also you've been in those shoes and understand what the boys go through. So you're trying to, figure out, maybe where those parts of the games were that they could have really nailed.
Is it, in your experience at a time like that, what do you think someone like a Fozzie would be saying to the lads before they run out on Saturday night after you guys have played? Like, what type of messages are you thinking could be coming down through the pipeline, or is it completely foreign to you and it's new each time?
Yeah, usually like it will go through the skipper, so I'd say Sam would be setting up that mindset for the week. But I've seen Paddy Tuips have an interview the other day, and he was talking about that niggle and not buying into that niggle. So I think when the All Blacks are really strong, is they're not affected by any of that sort of stuff. They're cool, they're calm, and they're just they're ruthless on their execution, all the little details and the planning for the weeks. Because I'd say they would have gone back to their review and been like, look, this opportunity was here, but we didn't capitalize on it. So it's just going back to that, staying calm and making sure in those pressure situations they're like pulling the trigger and executing on what they've trained. Yeah.
All right, top man, Angus. Thank you so much for your time. All the best for Saturday. I will see you there. We'll make sure that we're packing as many people into the stadium as possible. We're going to call it a pack out rather than a sellout. I don't know.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. Just bums on seats. Eh?
Bums on seats, man. Bums on seats. Just bums on seats.
Just bums on seats.
Just bums on seats.
Bumming it. I know, not that.
I don't know. How do we feel about? Okay, let's start. Let's unpick bit by bit, and you guys involved here too. So we've got Auckland taking on Tasman.
Yeah.
Nigel, after hearing Nigel's tips, again you can see them on YouTube and earlier down on the Facebook page. There's also some videos as well for his tips. Nigel Yolden, respected rugby commentator, a man who's watched every single game in the Mitre 10 Cup this year. He said this game here is going to be an absolute battle, and we know hands down that Tasman turn up with the better 9-10 combination, which is so important in code.
Yes.
However, Auckland has managed to weather the storm, and they just need a reasonably good game from their 9 and 10 to win it here at home with a good feeling. That's how he said it. It's going to be very, very close, and there's only a few points in it, but he gave Auckland the edge.
I thought Tasman at the start of the year, I thought, oh man, they're always loaded. They've got, way too much on paper, and that they'll win it all. But I really like Auckland in this one. I think it's a weekend for the hoops. Jerseys, whether they be navy hoops or black hoops.
Of course you do.
And I was the same. I remember when we did the predictions for the Ramfley, I had Tasman holding it the whole way.
Yeah.
I think, was it you and me as well?
I think we both got to them Tasman. We'll end up at Tasman and then it's all over.
I know, and they've been very disappointing. And Auckland haven't. Auckland have been good, even to the Canterbury game where we knew Canterbury, the story with that.
Yeah.
And they led and looked good down there.
Yeah.
I
think they're good. Weird? That's how good Tasman are. That like here they are in the final, and you're like, yeah, but they haven't quite been who you thought they'd be. You know? I love Lester Whanganuku though. Their wing.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord, he's great.
And I like Rayasi.
Yeah, Rayasi and Lamb. Far
mate. How many times did we sit here when they were doing their doing the captain's run, mate? We would sit there and they would sit there and Plummer would just pop on the ball, put it on a string straight out to the two wingers, Lamb.
Oh, man.
Mate, those boys.
How ridiculous are Harry Plummer's thighs?
They're so
huge.
big.
And he's got a bucket on him. That kid has got a massive ass.
A massive toilet, as
big
John
base,
Kirwan
big
calls
base.
it.
A big toilet, big base, big bucket. Nige said that anytime try scorer, you can't go past Rayasi or maybe perhaps even the big fella.
Is that right?
Angus Starvell, which he clearly can't talk about because he'd get in trouble from the TAB. Moving forward then, for the All Blacks taking on Argentina Saturday, 9:45 p.m. Just enough time for everyone who's gone and watched the rugby at Eden Park to get home and watch from there. AB's paying $1.11.
Really?
$1.11. And that's quite high for an All Black team. Usually they're $1.03, $1.04, $1.08. I haven't seen $1.11 for a long time.
Yeah.
$6.20 for the RGs. Didn't check the draw. We didn't check the draw, did we? What are we thinking?
Well, Argentina's plan last time was if we don't miss a tackle, I bet we win.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And so they've gone and rotated out 10 guys from the one. Now we've become the team that people rotate against and whatever. And then I had a look at the team and I was like, oh my God, these ones. There's a guy, Facundo Issa, who's playing at number 8. And he was at the Jaguares and he should have been their World Cup number 8, but he went off to play in France. So, that whole thing where he doesn't get selected. He is an amazing player. And it's that bit where I didn't even realise. And I was like, oh, of course, he was on the bench. So they brought him out into there. So even the team they've rotated is really, really, really strong.
Damn it.
$1.11 is pretty darn generous. There's pretty darn, faith having in the All Blacks just because it's like, oh, well, it's the All Blacks. Like, they've got to do a hell of a lot better. And they can't keep sending guys into those tacklers because those tacklers were going, okay, well, I'm just going to play for a country,
I don't know.
Oh, man, I'm so annoyed. Just so, used to it is the word.
Yeah.
Like, Australia had the chance to win a Tri-Nations, win a game, win a thing, and now it's just, All Blacks aren't losing. I don't care who you are. They're not losing 2 games in a row.
Do you think it's
they did.
Do you think it's the All Blacks getting a second look at them? Sort of thing, like, okay, I think I've seen what you've got.
Yeah, sorry, they did lose 2 in a row.
They
yes,
did,
to
This will
Australia
be the
and
first time in-
Argentina.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But they're not going to come back against Argentina and lose again.
Well, you
this
did
will not happen.
You did just say they will not lose 2 in a row, which they
Okay,
did.
well,
So,
I made that error to 2 different teams. They will not lose 2 games in a row to the same team.
Thank you.
There you go. But I'm just annoyed because Australia had the chance, mate. We had the.
Yeah,
and what do we do? What do we do?
You bundled it.
Of
You always
course,
have, mate.
You can't kick a goal. My 9-year-old son come on and kick a goal over the post, and you can't kick a goal through the post.
Bloody kicker.
Wow.
New Zealand win. New Zealand win 13 plus. $1.50 is the best price I've ever seen. You'll never get it again. New Zealand 13
that
plus.
one there. 13 plus.
Did you catch that pen as well? That's stunning. All right, finally, what goes on? Look at 2 days. You reckon it's Auckland, Northland, and Argentina. You're stirring, good sir. Argentina won, then drew, and now a loss.
Just occurred to me, sorry about Diego Maradona.
Yes.
What if he had died during an NRL game? And the commentator would have gone, and the great Diego Maradona has died. You know how they murder every name that comes up? It's like, it'll be Diego Maradona would have died.
Glad he didn't.
Yeah, shame.
So Sunday, sport does not stop this weekend, and this was amazing. As I sat there and thought to myself, man, sport is back in a large way.
Yes.
It's. Do you want to scrap Sunday? It is. Do you want to scrap Sunday? UFC
Because your
Fight
shoes
Night.
Sunday.
Yeah, because your shoes, because
your
all your
shoes.
stuff.
Because your shoes.
Curtis Blades versus the Black Beast,
Oh,
Derek
dude.
Lewis, starting at 4 p.m. NZT. Well, that fight won't start then, but that's when the cards start. But man, Aish and I again sitting on the couches reminiscing, and I remember the who's the Dutch fighter, and Blades just opened him up right in the forehead. Over him, Alistair Overeem.
Alistair Overeem.
Man, and he just and Derek Lewis every time bangs the desk. Like this is one of those fights that you go, yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't know the rest of the cards.
Because Blades is really weird. Like Blades is the sort of guy who's regarded as a really boring winner for a heck of a long time because he's such an incredible. He just out wrestles everybody, and so he fights really sensibly. And then that was the one with we've got some good blades going on there as well. So
and now he's been doing more and more damage with those.
Yeah,
and I like. The big beast, he just gets tired though. Like,
that's
it's
it.
going to be that. That's what's unless he can get him coming in and just finish him.
Did you get intimidated by saying the Black Beast? So you just changed it just to the.
What did I say?
The Big Beast.
Oh, sorry.
I thought you were just trying to be politically correct.
Yeah.
No, he called himself that, bro. We're good. We're good.
Black Beast of Houston.
And then of course later on, Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson take a swing at each other, which will be great times.
That's going to be so good.
8 p.m. Sunday, our time.
They asked Roy Jones. They said exhibition. He goes, Mike Tyson's knocked someone out in an exhibition before.
Yeah.
I'm not taking this lightly. And I would not.
The worst bit, so I saw Mike on his new vegan and weed diet, right? So he looks good. And then I saw Roy Jones and I thought, mate, that T-shirt, it's obviously not me, but I was like, oh, you look nearer to me than you do to Michael Tyson. And if Tyson's like, with that, oof.
Well, I was laughing. Like, imagine if it goes... just goes pear-shaped, and neither of them have enough stamina. So the first round they're ducking and weaving, and then the rest of the whole fight is just two old dudes ducking and weaving.
It has to do its thing in like a round, really, doesn't it?
Are they shorter rounds? Is there less rounds, less minutes? I don't know.
There's all sorts of rules that they weren't allowed to do. You're not allowed to do this, not allowed to do this. But I think Mike's going to go stuff it and just try and knock him out.
He's going to throw.
Yeah,
he'll throw
because he's looking good.
They're not going to go because I don't think he knows that, right? That's not his thing.
Aish, what did you say that you wanted to see happen? You wanted Mike Tyson to do something just absolutely
I just think I'd love to just see it. Like, I don't want to ruin the bloke. I love Mike.
Yeah.
Like, I love everything he's given us over the years as fans and everything. I'd just love to see him just do something silly. Mark said buy it.
Yeah, you want to
said,
bite the ear.
maybe, I don't
It's
know.
not in the rules. There's nothing in the rules about not biting
Exactly.
ears.
So I don't know. Maybe something or a late shot or
Headbutt.
I don't know. Something headbutt. There you go.
A takedown.
Just a takedown was my
There
suggestion.
you go.
Just something that's completely out of it. Like,
Dana,
just like, oh,
Dana,
what?
I can do it. Dana.
Yeah. All right, that's us. I just want to quickly
Well,
touch
hang
on
on.
this. Well,
I
hang on a
need to
sec.
find out.
Oh,
True
yeah,
or
no,
false.
2 things.
Oh, sorry, go.
3 things, actually.
Okay, go.
Baxter says NFL Thanksgiving Day, US now 2 games after 3 after the Ravens versus the Steelers postponed until Monday NZ time. Yeah. There's a whole lot of postponements coming. I think there's more and more damage happening with COVID-19 over in the States. So if you're an NFL fan, prepare to see your games go back and forth. And we're going to have a quick discussion about our fantasy teams just now, and then we'll get your big
Well,
reveal.
that last round of the NFL is going to have about 25 games on it because there's that many postponements.
Totally. But that one's just moved it to a different day, right? To Monday. New Zealand
the
time.
moment.
So in our fantasy football, and if you're not a part of this league, you do have to hang around for this chat just only because you want to find the big reveal out from Aish. It's our second to last week. Yeah. And Nate, you have not done well.
No. Why this dumb team to start with?
Well, you didn't.
No.
didn't
But
draft.
no, I'm like one of those owners. I'm here for the TV money. That's what I'm doing. I'm well under the salary cap.
Well, this is a do or die week for me and for Aish, really. I'm taking on the second top of the table, Wellington Wolves, and that's Richard Curry. Good man, Curry.
Beat him last week.
You beat him last week, so you pinned another loss on him. Only 3 of the 8. I need this to win to stay in the race, really, because if I lose this game, and good old Aish, the Vampire Slayers, takes out Team Baxter, who's sitting on the
Look on,
same
Baxter.
as me, we're all going to be drawn up on the same level. It's going to be chaos for the last week.
But
and
like
it's
a
gonna come
good
down to
version of the NFC East.
Absolutely, really good version. Yeah. Meanwhile, Nato, I think you're taking on James Taitama. Yeah,
Okay.
Rotorua Kingdom.
Well,
You'd be happy
congratulations.
to know
James.
you've won a game
Oh, did I?
You won a game.
with no quarterback and no
Shame.
Aiden's right. Terrible, Nate. And Aiden, you and I face off in the last week, so there's going to be a
No
lot of
nudie
it going
run.
off there.
Thank God.
Okay, Aish, it's the big
Aish.
reveal. Go through your story just very quickly again, and then give us the big reveal.
Just
if it was
quickly,
drawn
so Friday night was on the Beers, as I usually do every Friday night, and you have to back up on a Saturday, of course, and why not when it's pre-season, you back up on a Sunday.
Rude not to.
On the Sunday, it was George Street, famous party street in Sydney, massive clubs, blacked out. Woke up Monday morning, training morning, and I was in the hospital with an IV in my arm. So obviously they said alcohol poisoning, yep. But then they said they found me in the alley. So, yep.
Nathan, true or false?
False.
Ask me the question.
Mark, true or false?
True.
So, it is very true.
You maggot!
And I woke up and I rang my mates and I said, mate, I don't know how I got here. They said they found me in an alley. I got training in about 2 hours. Come pick me up with my gear. I got to go training. Went to training, trained a full day.
Did you train the house down because you were full of fluids?
I got through just. I did. Yeah, I got through, but I was like, I don't know if you imagine alcohol poisoning, very bad for you.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
good.
Don't do
not
it.
good.
I was spiked. Yep, as you said. I don't know. That's what I think.
Oh,
That's
okay,
what I'm.
you
That's
must
what I'm
be.
running with.
Yeah.
And got through to the Wednesday, which was day off. Rest of the story, I was good. Good to go.
Top man.
Good man, there he is.
Trooper.
Back next week.
Back next week.
Part of the path.
Hey, thank you all for watching. Thank you both for coming in. We enjoy doing this. It's a lot of fun. Make sure you share our stuff with your mates and get as many people on board as
Maradona
possible.
Ayshford, beautiful.
Blake, Maradona Ayshford.
Yeah, that's right.
Way to end it on that. Thanks today. Thank you all for, like I say, thank you all for being a part. We love you. Much love. And we will see you next week. Ka kite anō.